Welcome to the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour. In the first event of Season 3, we have a non-points paying race known as the DC Solar Rookie Dash from the Daytona backstretch short track. It's a 30-lap event with some fans in attendance, but not that many, which has a 22-car field and will determine the top 17, that's a specific number, but you gotta remember it, 17 qualifying spots for the American Airlines 500, which will be hosted on Saturday, January 23rd at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We do have 22 rookies this year in Cup, and we have many more in our second division, the MSCCT, or the Modern Stock Car East Coast Regional. However, in this event, we do see a whole 11 rows compiled of our finest competitors who are just a few minutes away from making their debuts. We have two drivers, and I think even one more, that is replacing an old car and is putting themselves in a new sort of situation with their own teams. For example, with Shift Racing in the 89 car, that is Carl McKinney's old ride, except it's not Carl McKinney in there anymore. It's the native of Ontario, Canada, John McFadden. And then also in the 2 car, formerly wielded by Mitchell Collins, there is the 2 car of Jeremiah Dwayne for Lone Wolf Motorsports. So it will be an interesting situation to see what we have going on here for those race teams. And yes, there is the 01 of Charlotte Kelly, sponsored by the U.S. Army. However, that is not related to the 01 of Dakota Bennett, who drove in Season 2 under the same number and sponsor, since Pacific Racing at the time and still uses Toyota products. Now, he uses, or I should say, Charlotte Kelly in the 01, she uses a Chevrolet Camaro ZL1E for that 01 car. But like I said, 22 rookies in this field this year, and they all get to showcase their talents in a 30-lap event with no cautions on the racetrack. So if somebody spins around, then good luck, because it's going to be an interesting show here. What we used to do in the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour was what we used to have dual races on the 2.5-mile oval, but that actually also determined all 42 starting positions. Now, we don't do that anymore, and instead, this is actually the first time that we're going to be running the Rookie Dash, and this will be a very, very interesting and I think competitive event. I think there's going to be a lot of lead changes, and I think that personally there's going to be a lot of hubbub considering who is going to be in the bubble spot, considering that out of these 22 cars, only 17 will make the race. So if somebody wrecks out or if somebody goes a lap or two down, they will probably be out of contention. Now, since we won't have a lot of time to discuss who will be on the starting grid once the pace car gets rolling, I thought it would be appropriate to do that now. So in row 1, we have John McFadden and Chris Lattimore in the 89 and 67 car. In the row 2, we have Werrell Daltrip in the 99 and Daniel Rivera. In row 3, we have Zay Williams and Logan Thronberg of ARE. In row 4, we have Callan Fleming of Dan Wilkins Racing and Logan Williams. In row 5, we have Jeremiah Dwayne and Charlotte Kelly. In row 6, we have Matthew Green and Donna Wilkins. In row 7, we have Ronnie Martin and Jackson Snyder. In row 8, we have Sam Joseph and JJU. In row 9, we have Jesse Owens Jr. and Purab Srivastava. In row 10, we have Brandon Allen and John Reese. And in row 11, we have Hunter Walker and Leland Hill. So as we said, out of these 22 cars, only 17 will make the race, so anything 18th and down will not make the big event. Now, everybody else has already had their starting qualifying position determined by their point standings reversed from last year. So the champion, Ryan Adema, in the 92 Dodge, he will be starting last, and then the second place finisher, Nolo Hamilton, will be starting 41st, and so on and so forth. So that means that we have 17 spots for the 17 rookies that will be competing this year, or I should say the 22 rookies that will be competing this year. However, only 17 will make it into the greatest crown jewel race in the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour. With that being said, let's listen to the Driver Command, sponsored by Bank of America. Actually, we got a few more seconds, but here we go.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Nice and easy, long day. It's going to be a lot of adjustments. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. This is a real race here. We're going to have a blast tonight. I can't wait to get up and get going.
That was the spotter of the number 67, Chris Lattimore, on the outside pole. We will be taking the green flag from the Daytona backstretch. Here we go, 30 laps dash. Already a good start for John McFadden going into turn number 1, and off of turn number 2, he gets a good advantage over the 67 of Chris Lattimore. Looks like Jeremiah Dwayne running the corner a little bit wide, and that front few already funneling into single file action as Logan Thronberg in the 38 is already propelled his way up to the 3rd spot. A good start for the 38, especially if he wants to get his car, sponsored by Sonny's Barbecue, into the great race. Now, the real question is how is ARE going to do this season? Well, nobody really knows, considering that they have replaced a few drivers, especially since they split. Ryan Adema, he did split with the 19 of Chase Buck, who will be running, I believe, around the mid-20s in the starting position for the American Airlines 500. So really, they have 2 new drivers this year. They have the 24 of Jesse Owens Jr., who is currently running in the... There he is, in the 13th position. So he's a little bit in the hot seat, but not really that far in danger. And then you got Logan Thronberg running in the 3rd position, so he's really in a good spot. McFadden with a nice lead, although Logan Thronberg is going to possibly overtake the 99 of World Daltrip. Let's take a look. This racetrack is really unique because of the fact that, you know, it's a 0.4 mile short track on the backstretch here at Daytona International Speedway. You can see we got a decent crowd on hand on the backstretch grandstands. Ooh, we might have some trouble on the racetrack. Thought I saw John McFadden get some hood damage there, but doesn't really look like there's too much that's culminating out of that, as Jackson Snyder is going to make another pass, this time on Chris Lattimore. The outside pole sitter really is falling back in that RIE Chevrolet for Evening Star Motorsports. He is now running in the 8th position. Now, as McFadden still has a... Oh, we got some trouble on the racetrack. World Daltrip having some problems, and it looks like Logan Williams as well. He's jumping to the inside line. Almost looked like he was going to dive bomb the 38 of Logan Thronberg, but he doesn't do that. As even though he does have... Oh, that was John McFadden who got some left side door damage. Let's take... Oh, we do have a spin, though, before I continue, as Ronnie Martin in the 29 Goodwrench Chevrolet. Looks like he had some trouble there. Let's take a look. Oh. Okay, so we just got into a tire barrier and ended up taking out Zay Williams as well. So it looks like Ronnie Martin is probably out of contention for the American Airlines 500. However, if we take a look at our bubble spot right now, we will see that currently in and on the hot seat is Hunter Walker, who's in 16th, and Brandon Allen, who went from last all the way up to 17th. He's been able to really power his way through. Now he's just... Oh, we have more problems. Leland Hill, you saw that. He got pushed by the 05 of Matthew Green, as you see here. Going into turn number 1, he locks the brakes up, gets turned by JJU, and, you know, this is a relatively low-speed track, but Matthew Green in that number 05 Chevrolet for Unknown Motorsports, that's a hard hit. And now, looks like even more problems as Leland Hill continues to have his... Oh, man, he had... Oh, wow, there was a huge pileup over here that I completely missed. So, yeah, my apologies for missing that, but I was looking at... And now we have Leland Hill, who's into the tire barrier. Well, that's what you get for looking at replays too long. That is what you get for looking at replays too long. You get situations like that. Looks like World Daltrip is right on the back end of that 89. But I was gonna, if I can finally get to my point here, let's look at the bubble and see what we got going on here. It looks like the 05 of Matthew Green and the 54 of Leland Hill are all out. JJU is on pit lane, so he's probably out, as Jackson Snyder losing a lot of his spots. There's Donna Wilkins in the 13 below the yellow line, trying to make something out of it. She's running in 13th in accordance with her car number in the number 13 UPS Ford for Dan Wilkins Racing. But yeah, Leland Hill is out. Matthew Green is out. John Reese is 1 lap down. And then, we got another pileup. Sam Joseph and Brandon Allen into the tire barriers. Daniel Rivera being held up. I don't know how Allen made it all the way into 10th, but we have another relatively large pileup. As now, the 99, who was the leader, is going to be overtaken. This is what you get for not having cautions on a dash race like this. You get situations where you have drivers getting piled up. It's essentially a demolition derby. But the good thing about any of this is that it's going to be backup cars for Daytona, and they're not going to lose their qualifying spots by having to use a backup car. So it is what it is for these drivers. You know, it's not like they're really having too much of consequences for wrecking. It looks like right now it's Chris Lattimore on the bubble, and then Daniel Rivera and Ronnie Martin still trying to get in. And Ronnie Martin probably just sealed his case for why he is out. He's into the tire barrier on the off of turn 4. It looks like. This is what you get for having a rookie dash. It's like an ARCA race. You know, you don't expect it to be that great in quality. As now, did Logan Williams overtake John McFadden? I don't think so, but now, there's the 13 who's in 12th, trying to get her lap back. 38 still giving John McFadden and the 89 a good run, with 10 laps to go. But it is essentially Demolition Derby, but they intentionally brought 2 cars to Daytona because they knew something like this was going to happen with no cautions. It's almost like when they have those figure 8 races, or like the MSCCT when we hosted last year. We hosted a figure 8 derby at Greenville Speedway in the middle of nowhere in Indiana, as John McFadden has just piled into the tire barrier, and Logan Thronberg will take the lead away. And now the 99 is going to take the lead. Does this interfere with the 2 car who is piled into that tire barrier? This is going to be a side-by-side battle, guys, between Werrell Daltrip in the 99 and Logan Thronberg in the 38. You can see there's a lot of damage on both of those cars, but hey, they don't care if their car gets wrecked up as long as it runs fine. 99 of Werrell Daltrip taking the lead. Brake checking and losing control. And Logan Thronberg gets a huge jump. Now he comes upon the 46 of Callan Fleming. There's Jesse Owens Jr., who's a little bit on the bubble. And also it looks like that the bubble might have just been locked, as Charlotte Kelly, Jackson Snyder, Brandon Allen, Chris Lattimore, Ronnie Martin, and as we said, Hill and Green are both out of the race. They're all out. So that could necessarily mean that at the end of everything, we could have a driver who didn't even complete all 30 laps in the dash race be on the starting grid for the American Airlines 500. Because right now there are 4 drivers on the lead lap, as this is a disaster. I don't know how to even react to this. This reminds me of the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 from Season 2 at Phoenix, which had 57% of the 68-lap race under caution. Coming back to the stripe. Looks like we're coming up on 3 laps to go. Here comes Callan Fleming out, and I don't even know where the 99 is. Oh yeah, way back there. I mean, this is what you get for having a rookie dash like this. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I mean, it does determine starting position, so Logan Thronberg could be your American Airlines starting pole sitter if the 99 doesn't make a good run on these last 2 laps. The 38 will make one final circuit around these twisty turns. He takes the white flag. 1 more lap to go in this quick little dash race. Well, he got moved up a little bit, and I don't think the 99 is going to be able to catch the 38. Looks very unlikely, but this beaten and battered car, sponsored by Sonny's Barbecue of Adama Racing Enterprises, will take the checkered flag and will take the checkered pole at the American Airlines 500 at Daytona International Speedway. Logan Thronberg wins the DC Solar Rookie Dash and will be on front in position number 1 for the 3rd annual race. On his outside will be Werrell Daltrip in the 99, followed by John McFadden in the 89, who was our pole sitter for the start of the 30-lap dash. Purab Srivastava in the number 48 will be in the 4th position, starting in row number 2 on that outside line. And then the rest of your top 10 is as follows. We have Sam Joseph in the 4, John Reese in the 02, Donna Wilkins in the 13, Zay Williams in the 04, Kellen Fleming in the 46, and Jesse Owens Jr. in the 10 car. So that will be all from the DC Solar Rookie Dash. This is Dan Wilkins signing off for now. We will see you guys later this weekend for the rest of the 3rd annual Speed Weeks from Daytona International Speedway.